you go.
Okay, so here we have the EZ10. Okay, so this video is going to show you just quick tips on how to do the setup part and of course how to use it here. So when you get this machine, take it out of the box, you will have to put the wheel guard on the bouncer. Okay, it will be on the pallet separate. Okay, it's very, very easy. All you have is 3 5mm Allen bolts right in here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're going to be in the bag stapled separately. So all you have to do is line up the wheel guard with this bar. If you can see, I'm not sure if you may be able to notice it on the camera, but we have 2 separate assemblies here. This bracket that goes into the machine, this thicker part, and then the thinner one here is for the wheel guard. All you have to do is line up the holes, because there will be holes on this thicker bracket right in here and holes in this one. So all you do is line the 3 bolts up and then put the hardware in with the washer. Okay, so once you do that, using an Allen wrench, install it. Nice and easy, very, very simple to put on. Okay, so after the wheel guard is on, the only other thing you have to do is place this monitor on here. Okay, now the monitor will be in a downwards position when you first get this. It's going to be on here, but you'll have to stand it up. Okay, and back here we have 2 10mm self-tapping screws right in here. Okay, so what you'll have to do is this bracket's actually slotted. Okay, so you don't even have to remove these all the way. So all you have to do is using preferably a wrench, because if you try to use a ratchet, you may not be able to clear this right here. So using a wrench, you can loosen these just a couple turns, maybe about a whole turn or so, and remove it enough to where you slide it off when it's in the down position. And then as you see here is how it needs to be. So then you could slide it on when it's in the upward position. Okay, and if you need to remove this bracket, it's very, very easy. Normally you don't have to, but again, all you have to do is loosen the 2 bolts up, remove it, okay, orient it the other way, slide it back on, and then retighten these 2 bolts, and that's it. Okay, this power wire will be in the bag separate. Okay, so all you have to do is take it out of a bag, connect it in here, plug it into the wall, and here you have your on-off switch. Okay, now once you've done that, the machine is basically ready to use. Okay, the shaft should already be installed for you, and you'll have your accessories with you. Okay, so now at this point, of course, we turn on our bouncer. Now we're ready to use it. In this case, I have a steel wheel. Okay, now first thing you're going to do is need to show the customer the key things on this bouncer. Is you have to show them how to do a steel wheel and aluminum wheel. That has to be clear cut. Okay, you have to explain to them how to use the arm, how to interact with the machine, and maybe verify the dimensions as well, because this is equipped with a virtual sonar. Okay, we don't have a physical sonar on this machine, so it is equipped with a virtual sonar, so it will do an approximation on the width, specifically on steel wheels. Aluminum wheels are measured a little bit differently, but on the steel wheels specifically, there may be times where you have an odd size wheel where you may have to manually go in there and verify the width in case they're chasing weights, because sometimes that virtual sonar may act up a little bit, so it's important to show them how to do that, and we'll be showing you how to do that in the video. Okay, so I have my wheel mounted right here. I'm on the home screen. So to do a steel wheel, all you have to do is pull your arm out and butt it up against the lip, okay, of the rim where you're going to be hanging the weight onto. Okay, so once you do that, the zeros will jump up and down. You'll get this open brackets right here on the screen. The machine will beep, and after you do that, then at that point you can retract the arm back to the home position. Again, we're only measuring one time. Okay, the machine always, no matter what type of wheel you're doing, will always register the first measurement as a hang-on weight right here. Okay, so don't pay too much attention to it. If you're doing an aluminum wheel, it will change as you measure the second one. But for this purposes, and we'll show you how to do aluminum here in a second, just measure the one time, bring it back in. Okay, now when virtual sonar is disabled, you will be prompted to manually verify the width. So in this case, it says B, which is width, 6.7 inches. Okay, so the virtual sonar is guessing this to be at 6.7 inches. Okay, that's an acceptable number. This is 6.5 truly, but a quarter inch is acceptable, a variance. So 6.7 would be okay in this case. So all I would need to do is close my wheel guard. Okay, it's going to spin up and take my imbalance measurement. As it's spinning, of course, keep your hands off the wheel guard, don't move the machine. Okay, the machine's going to stop spinning. It is equipped with the auto approach, so it's going to stop relatively close to where the imbalance is. Okay, so in this case, the left side is telling me to go up, so I'll just move up a little bit. I'm going to look for the center icon to light up right in here. It tells me 1 ounce. Okay, again, I'm set up for clip. I'm going to hang a 1 ounce weight right here at 12 o'clock. So I put my 1 ounce, hammer it on there. That side is done. Okay, if I had an imbalancement on the other side, okay, right here, I'm just going to go into my fine mode so I can have a number to show you. I could do 1 or 2 things. I could hit the start button or turn this by hand, either one. If I hit the start button, the auto approach will start, okay, and it'll go to the other side relatively close. I just rotate it a little bit, okay. Now I'm at the outside, okay, the outside plane. So for here, at this point, I would hammer on a weight outside, 12 o'clock, okay, hammer it on, just like I did on the inside, okay. close my wheel guard, and if you do that correctly, this wheel should zero out, okay? And that's how you would do a steel wheel. Okay, now, keeping this same wheel on here, I'm just gonna kind of replicate how you would do an aluminum wheel, okay? So for aluminum wheels, you have two options. You can do 2 stick-on weights, one on the inside, okay? Or you can do 1 clip-on and 1 stick-on, just depending on the type of wheel that you're doing. So of course, assess the wheel and decide which one you're going to do. But for this case, let's pretend I'm doing 1 clip-on, okay? Which is the same way I just did it a minute ago, okay? Now, instead of bringing my arm back to home, I don't do that. I'm going to actually take a second measurement after the machine beeped and gave me these open brackets, okay? So I'm going to pull my arm in, okay? Go to my second location. And as you can see, the machine says ALU for aluminum and is registered 1 clip-on and 1 stick-on, okay? All right? So that's how you would set it up for this way. So at this point, you would do, okay, you would go here, left-hand side, adjust to 1 ounce, 12 o'clock, hammer it on. Okay, again, I'm doing clip-on, and then the other one, okay, I'm gonna rotate. Okay, I got my stick-on weight, again, 12 o'clock, everything on this machine is at 12. So I place it 12 o'clock on the inside wherever I placed my measurement arm, okay? And then you close the wheel guard and zero this thing out. If you're doing 2 stick-on weights, very, very simple, same concept as well. Okay, what you would do is you pull your arm out, go to the first flat plane, where inside the rim here, where you'd be placing your first stick-on weight, and then you go inside and measure the second one, okay? And as you can see here, now that I've changed it, I have 2 stick-on weights here, okay? So I have 2 stick-on weights, so the machine registers that, okay? And it knows that using the potentiometer and just kind of gauges diameter difference. But the machine will know what mode you're trying to do, but you have to explain to the customer and make it super clear on how to use this arm, okay? And how to do a steel wheel, how to do an aluminum wheel, and then of course so that they know their options of how to use it and how to set this machine up properly so that they can properly use it, okay? Now, that being said, we talked about the virtual sonar and verifying dimensions. So I'm going to re-verify this. I'm going to remeasure this for a steel wheel. So just one time, and bring my arm back, okay? Now, depending on if you have the feature enabled or disabled, sometimes you'll just get zeros across the screen instead of this B6.7. If you do get those zeros, okay, you'll have to manually verify that width. So to do that, you hit menu, go up one time, BDA, okay? B is width, D is diameter, A is distance. When I hit enter, we have B6.7. That's where they can manually change this, okay, to whatever they need it to be, because again, if for some reason they're chasing weights, and specifically on steel wheels, okay, have them verify that dimension, more specifically the width, okay, because that virtual sonar, if it's on, could be throwing it for a loop, just because if it's an odd size wheel, that happens on occasion, okay? So you want to know how to, be mindful of that when you're doing installs and trainings so that they know how to get here and manually verify that dimension, okay? Now, on the screen, very, very simple stuff here. You can switch from grams to ounces on the fly, okay? You have your enter button, menu button, and then we have direct weight placement right in here, and our split weight right over here, which I will show you how to do. And those can only be done with an aluminum wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and remeasure this. Okay, all right, now, when you're doing this direct weight placement here, that's when you're using this arm and it doubles as helping you place a stick-on weight instead of measuring, okay? So for example, right here, let's say I have my ½ ounce. Right now it's at 12 o'clock. This arm cannot reach straight up to 12 o'clock to place a weight on. So what I would have to do is, first I go to the ½ ounce here, which is the one I want to do, and then I'm going to click this button, okay? So now I'm no longer at 12. What it wants me to do is go down, as you can see here. So now I'm going to go down, okay? And 12 o'clock has actually shifted. It switched my imbalance location. That was up here, now it's over here, okay? So what I would do in this case, I'm going to use this example right in here. I'm going to take my adhesive weights, remove the backing here so that adhesive is exposed. Okay, I'm going to place my weight on here. Now at this point, I pull my arm out, okay, until I see that ½ ounce, okay, right there on this side, which is the one I'm addressing. Then I rotate the arm till it makes contact with the wheel, release the clip, okay, and that weight should stay behind, okay, and that basically allows you to precisely place that weight instead of guesstimating at where 12 o'clock is trying to stand over the wheel, okay. And that works as, again, it's called direct weight placement. It's the question mark with the arrow, okay, right over there. And it disables this from remeasuring, because alternatively, it's going to take a remeasure as you pull this out. So when you do that, it disables it from measuring, and you use it to actually help you place those weights, okay? So that's how you would use it. And again, you only typically do that with aluminum wheels, okay? And lastly, we have split, which works very similar to all of our other bouncers. It's a little bit more difficult with this one because you have no laser line or laser pointer, but the concept is the same. You go to the one you want to address, in this case ½ ounce, okay? let's pretend my spokes are over here and it's not at 12. Okay, here's 12 o'clock. What I have to do is manually push this wheel forward or backward until the spoke I want to use is at 12. So let's say I just rolled this forward an inch, and now an inch or two, and now my spoke is at 12. It's a little hard to visualize with this steel wheel, but it's still the same concept here. So now my spoke is at 12. I hit split, okay, and it's going to say split on the screen, and it's going to have an up or a down arrow. Okay, in this case, I have an up arrow, so I'm going to go up towards the back of the bouncer. So I'm going to go up. Here's 12 right now. So I'm going to go up, and let's pretend spoke number 2 is right here. Okay, now spoke number 2 is at 12. I'm going to hit split one more time. Okay, and now split it one weight right here, and another weight right here. Okay, so again, same as much like our other bouncers here, but that's how you would do the split weight. Okay, so though that's in a nutshell, that's all the features and benefit of this machine. It is also equipped with the auto adaptive mode that always runs in the background. Okay, so that's nothing that needs to be enabled or disabled. It does come on, but it is always running in the background. It does come with the auto approach technology and the virtual sonar as well.